Hey guys, and welcome to a little bonus video for Lights on Temira. We get asked a lot of questions throughout the season by people that come see the show, people online. So I figured I might just do a little Q&A video with some of the questions that I get asked a lot. And it might answer some questions that you guys have. So first question we always get asked is, why do we do it? Why do we spend so long each year putting up Christmas lights, cursing and swearing white when it doesn't work? We do it, I do it because I love playing around with the lights. I love the reaction that they get from people when people come and see it for the first time, or even people come back each year after year and just get blown away by the scale of it and how everything works. Yeah, that's the reason why I do it. It's for the love of tinkering, building props, and just getting the pure enjoyment out of everyone watching the lights. Is why I do it year on year. The other video is, a lot of the questions we get asked is, do we keep the lights up all year round on the house? The answer to that is no. The lights all come down at the end of the season, so generally about mid-January we start taking them down. Then everything gets packed away. We generally keep them out the back of the house for a little bit, do a bit of testing and repairs on lights that we know that need to be fixed. And then the rest of it gets packed away at the end of the year, and we bring it out again in about September to start putting them all back up again. We get asked, how long does it take to set up? That's a very good question. A long time sometimes. We generally we do a Halloween show now. We do the Halloween show for a couple of reasons. One, it's not as hot to set up in September, October than it is do it in November, December, or obviously before December. But also giving us more time to start setting up early means it generally takes about 4 weekends to put everything up. Some weekends we do a lot less than others. Earlier weekends we you put, oh, we've got the house outline done, cool, let's stop, that took 2 hours, we'll go have a beer and a swim and call it a day. But then you get, the weekends right before the show time, it's like, I haven't wired up everything, so I need to wire the whole show back to the control boxes all in one day. And that could be a 10-hour day. So yeah, but realistically I say it takes about 4 weekends to set it all up. We get asked a lot is how many control boxes and do we have that runs the show. So I have 3 F16 V3s and 1 F16 V4 that run the show, plus an assortment of small boxes with the smart receivers in that. If you go and watch my behind the scenes tour videos, you'll see that I've got the different boxes set up, and then you'll be able to see all my control boxes. But there's 4 main Pixel controllers, and then a Raspberry Pi which runs the whole show. And yeah, it's not much, but it does run it all. Get asked a lot, I think this is probably the most common last question, is how do you get the music to sync up with the lights? Well, when you start sequencing all the songs, the first thing you do is use a program called X-Lights, and you drop in the music folder, the file. So that's the first thing. You start with the music of what you want to play, what song you want to use. And then X-Lights has a couple of plugins built in which can then break down the beats, the tempo, and yeah, you use that, and then it's just finding the right effects that you want to use, and it's lots of layering upon layers to get everything to look as good as it can be. I'm not the best sequencer out there by far. There's so much more talented people than me. I make a couple of sequences, but most of the ones I use is ones that I can get online by other people. But yeah, so the way you get the lights to sequence with the music is the first base part of the sequence file, and then you layer the light effects on top of that. I get asked a lot, am I an electrician? As by trade, and the answer is no. I'm in logistics and I manage warehouses. I had no idea how to do any of these lighting. If you asked me in 2019 how to do this, I would have said no idea. But I watched a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of posts online on the Australian Christmas light or Oz Christmas lighting forums. That's a wealth of knowledge. Everyone on that site just is extremely helpful. In fact, everyone in the whole Christmas light community, that, you know, from vendors to, you know, everyone that you can go talk to. I think there's 6 houses now up in Darwin that run lights, and I've gone over and spoke to nearly every single one of them, and you chat for like half an hour. You just stand out the front talking about them. Everyone in this community is just so friendly, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's really addictive and fun to do, because you can just talk to all these people. You don't need to be an electrician. It could help, sure, but if you're just willing to read, watch some YouTube videos, learn, talk to other people, you will learn how to pick it up, and then you can build shows like this one. Get asked a lot, where do I get all of this from? All of the props, and by props I mean basically like the white candy canes, the stockings, the snowflakes, the trees. I get all of mine from Extreme Lighting Displays. Troy from Extreme Lighting Displays helps me out a lot. I order from him, he packs them up, sends them to Darwin. How you get the lights, how you get the props is just, you get a big box with a lot of Coro in it, with a lot of holes cut into it, and then the fun begins of having to make sure you push all those pixels in, and make sure you push them in the right way. Each thing, there's a right order of how to push pixels in. So the ones that are always a nightmare are your big reefs. You know, you got 600 lights. They follow this weird zigzaggy pattern that you wouldn't think that's the right way to go. But if you use X lights, you drop your model in there, you can look at the wiring diagram and just copy from that. And so that way the computer knows exactly where each light is, and then it can display the effects right. And that's how all of that's done. But yeah, so I get all the props from Troy from Extreme Lighting Displays. I get my pixels either direct from China, from the manufacturers over there, or I buy from Paul in WA at Light 'em Up. And Paul's great. He ships stuff out so quickly. Like, I'll order on a Thursday, I'll order on a Monday, and I'll have them by Friday. He's extremely helpful. If anything's, you know, missing, just contact him. He ships them out straight away again. So yeah, those guys are great. They're my main go-to guys in Australia for getting stuff, and then the rest of the other stuff I'll buy direct from China. Another thing I get asked a lot is, where do you store all these lights when they're not up? We have a U-Store shed, which we use for other purposes other than just Christmas lighting. But yeah, I store all of that in a shed. Once all the lights are down, I drive my truck in from work. I load everything up in the truck in one hit, and we do one big trip down to the store shed and we pack it away. Over the years, we've worked out a very tight, packed and efficient way to store everything, and yeah, we've got that down to a fine art where one afternoon we can load up the truck, load everything into the store shed and pack it away, and then we're done for the year. Questions we get asked also is, what do you do next year? And that's a very hard question to answer, because you're like, well, I always want to improve, but you always don't have the ideas straight away. So what we'll do next year is just slightly refine. I think I'm at the point now where I don't want to add anything major to the show. I like my layout, I like my design, and yeah, I think it's just about refining it. Next year I'd like to refine the mapping of the sequences more. I believe that could probably be more effective than, say, just adding another couple of thousand lights in places that probably don't really need it. Where people can find us is we have got Lights on Temira on Facebook. So we've got a Facebook page there, and we've got it on the YouTube channel, Lights on Temira on YouTube. On the YouTube, we've got every sequence that we've done all filmed, all got the correct music, like just the music file, all edited nicely and posted up there, and then you can watch our lights all year round. But yeah, that's my little Q&A. If you got any other questions, let me know, and I might make another one of these later, like next year, to answer some more questions. But yeah, if that's been it, thank you for watching, and yeah, see you guys later.